Hey everyone, Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler here. Had an interesting comment today on one of my Goodwill Did I Just Get Screwed by ShopGoodwill.com Part 1. And I thought I would go over it a little bit. I thought it was super interesting, and maybe someone here will find this kind of, development pretty interesting about what's going on with ShopGoodwill.com. Now, real quick, I'll link a video below to part 1 and part 2 to this series. I guess I'm going to call this part 3 to the series because I thought it was very interesting, this subscriber's comment, and we'll go into that in just a second. But just to recap for those that want the basic, real quick rundown information without having to go to the videos, but I do suggest going and checking out those videos if you've ever had a problem with shopgoodwill.com. Definitely go and check those videos out and then come back and watch this video. But the real quick thing that happened was, and this was probably 3 or 4 years ago now, this auction that you see here of Vinylmation figures, I won for $158 plus shipping, and it never showed up. The auction or listing never got updated. I had no information from anyone. I waited 2 weeks, and then that's when I decided I was going to message Goodwill because I was like, what's up on my order? In short, they ended up saying that the package was lost in their warehouse, and they gave me a full refund after I made a big stink about it on Twitter, and that's a whole other thing in itself. So basically, for those that don't know, this figure lot, I paid $158 for it plus shipping. This lot is probably worth in the neighborhood of, I don't know, $500 to $800. There's some figures in there. There's one figure in there that's worth $500. You can see it kind of by the panda. I don't know if you can see my scrolling thing, but anyways, there was a lot of good figures in this collection. There was some figures that were over $100 on addition. So this was like an amazing find. I have this listing, Vinylmation, saved on my Shop Goodwill watch list. Anytime they come up, they'll get an email and I check them out. This was the dream lot I've been waiting for, and then they just basically never shipped it. I never got a message. After all these videos that I made, I did a couple of them. This is part 3. I had lots of people comment that there was lots of shady stuff going on with shopgoodwill.com, and also I've spoken to Goodwill employees also. That won't basically go on the record or anything like that, which would be a really interesting video series. Let me tell you, oh my God, the stuff that they told me about Shop Goodwill would blow your mind, and you would probably never shop there again. But anyways, people go there to, to make money. I get it. Like, you're not, even if they were charged of some heinous crime, I can guarantee you're going to shop there no matter what comes out of anything. You're still going to shop there. Just trust me, that's just going to happen. But anyways, back to the story. This is a very interesting comment that was left by a subscriber. Now, take this with a grain of salt. There's no way to verify this, but from all the different stories that I've heard and the people that I've talked to, there is some shady ass shit going on with shopgoodwill.com. So if you've ever had a weird situation where an item that is worth a ton of money that you paid really low for got lost, or they couldn't find it in the warehouse, or there was just some weird stuff going on. Let me tell you a really quick story before I get into the comment. There was a $20,000 Star Wars figure, and this might have been 2 years ago or 3 years ago. A $20,000 Star Wars figure, vintage Star Wars figure. It was actually the Jawa with the vinyl cape. And for those that don't know, that is a very rare figure. It only came out in Canada for a certain amount of time. There wasn't that many, but it was on card. It was like the condition of it was brand new in the package, and the condition was amazing. Like, it would have easily graded a 9. And that would have made it like $20,000. It probably, actually, that figure is probably worth like $35,000 now, because it would have graded very well. Anyways, that figure ended up getting pulled from Goodwill. It maybe was up to like $1,100 or $800 or something like that, and it got pulled. Like, I had it saved, I looked at it, and it was gone. Now, there's lots of crazy stories like that. So let's get into the comment, and then I'm going to read the comment, and then I'm going to kind of go over a little bit about it. And then I actually also want to know what you think about this whole situation. Now, like I said, there's no way to verify this. There's no way to even well, I guess there's a way to verify my story because I have all the documents, I have the proof in this video about everything that went on. But there's no way to verify this accusation and what happened with this particular subscriber. Now, I guess I have to say that. So basically, take these comments with a grain of salt, and I'm definitely going to read them right now. William Blake said, I caught the San Diego market red-handed creating auctions for a high-value item that was impossible to find using standard keywords, had misspells in the listing, and was only posted for 48 hours. So what he's basically saying is they're doing shady stuff by listing the item for like a shorter period of time and misspelling like keywords so no one would be able to find it. The item had an open bid of $9.99 and the item had a value of $1,200 minimum. It ended up going for $48, or excuse me, $84. I have dyslexia. You just saw that firsthand. I called the regional manager and told her I suspected that an employee had deliberately misposted the ad so an accomplice could get it cheap. She called me a sore loser, etc., and said her worker may have not understood what it was. I gave her the current auction numbers, very similar to the auction in question that could be found using multiple keywords. So he basically backed up facts with other things. Her people understood exactly how to list it. I informed her I was going to turn the issue over to the authorities, and she instantly transferred the call to the head of the online auctions without saying a word. I got the same excuse from him and ended the call. So this kind of thing, even when you've had other kind of issues like Goodwill, Shop Goodwill.com is actually like the very worst with customer service. Sure, I've had some really good experiences with them. I've bought and sold from not sold, but I've bought from them over the years, and I've actually had a couple of really crazy success stories with some vintage Hot Wheels. But that's a story for another time. So this is how it is. Last paragraph here. After I sent the complaint to the proper agencies, I posted a complaint on Goodwill Facebook complaint page. It's kind of crazy. Think about this. It's so bad that they actually have a Goodwill Facebook complaint page. Like, what companies have a Facebook page dedicated to complaints? That is just insane. Within 4 hours, I got a PM from the former manager who claimed my suspicion was correct, and she had been fired for not going along with these and other unethical practices involving the website. This person warned me that the Southern California, which I'm in, and Knoxville, Tennessee, so keep an eye out for Knoxville, Tennessee, area were the worst two in the country. Knoxville is notorious about jewelry, so if you've ever had any jewelry problems, go look and see where it came from. Later, I got replies from the state of California, which is I think it's like the Better Business Bureau or whoever it is. I think Better Business Bureau might be nationwide, and I'm not sure it's completely state, but there's state agencies like that. Let me say that again. I got replies from the state of California that more or less said my complaint went on the stack. Yeah, they're generating tons of tax revenue. I don't think anyone's going to give a shit about what Goodwill's doing. They made $4 billion last year in revenue, I think, or something ridiculous like that. I figured they get what's coming to them soon. Now, I'll tell you what the most craziest thing, and I'm going to actually do a video on this at some point. I was actually thinking about this auction this morning before I came and checked my Facebook or my YouTube comments. And so it was actually kind of very timing. Very timing. I don't even know if that's even, it's very timely that this comment came through because I was just thinking about this auction today. And I was like, two situations happened from my auction. Either an employee saw these figures and said, oh my God, these are worth a ton, and stole them, or B, some employee saw these and said, these are worth way more than $158. Let's remove these. I did check for like a year after this, and these never popped up. So I don't know what happened to them. But anyways, this is a crazy story, and I've heard tons of stories, not only from the customer standpoint. I've talked to managers and employees that have worked for Goodwill, and there's a lot of sideways stuff that goes on with shopgoodwill.com. Now, let me get it straight and let me get this off my chest. There's been many times where items that I've purchased went fine. This was the only time, this figure lot was the only time I've ever had an issue, but it was the worst timing. Like if it was another auction that got lost, I wouldn't care, but it was so fishy with my auction. This person is basically summing up all the different things I heard. I'm not sure there's any legal action that can ever be taken, because if you purchase the item and they don't send it and they give you a refund, there's nothing really you can do, because you've really not lost anything, because you've never had anything in your possession other than the funds that you provided to shopgoodwill.com, which they have returned. So with that, I don't know if there's really, I'm not a lawyer. If there's any lawyers here, I'm pretty sure there's no legal things that can happen here that a buyer, or possibly maybe like a class action lawsuit might be something that can happen, where they have to set regulatory standards versus this shopgoodwill.com. But like I said, I have no idea. Like if anything anyone could do, it's just one of those things. Like, the stuff gets donated, you know, they list it. There's shady stuff that happens from point A to point B. And like I said, 99% of the orders, and I haven't shopped there in like over 2 years. I don't even look there anymore, because to me personally, the days of finding amazing, now there's still deals in there. Finding the home run stuff where you buy for $100, you can sell for $1,000 is gone, because there's so many people that are savvy to shopgoodwill.com. Even when I made my first video, and by the way, the link's going to be below, definitely go and check those 2 videos out. When I made my first video, there was really not too many people that actually knew about shopgoodwill.com. It was like the biggest hidden secret in reselling arbitrage, in online arbitrage, that there was for a long time. Now everyone knows about that. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you ever had I want to know if you've ever had a situation like this with shopgoodwill.com, or if you've had any kind of really weird situations that have happened in the Shop Goodwill stores. If you're an employee, you want to be anonymous, you don't have to, like, I guess you can hide behind an avatar on Twitter, or not on Twitter, on YouTube. But I would love to hear your stories if you have any weird things. So that actually, it's kind of crazy to actually collect these kind of stories. I mean, and this is just another one. You can read some of the other comments, but this one stuck out to me so interesting this morning, because I was just thinking about this auction this morning, and I just happened to see this comment. Let me know in the comments below. Have you ever had an issue? If you want to see more updates on this, definitely click the like button, subscribe, and basically just sound off. Let me know what you think. Is this guy full of the cow's manure, or do you think there's something weird going on with shopgoodwill.com? Once again, I'm Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. We'll see you next time. Take care.